Welcome to the Shadow Work series, where ancient wisdom meets modern heart. Today we dive into Gene Key 1, or Gate 1 in the human design system. This challenges in the Scorpio for creative mutation, and the shadow most of us carry without even knowing, which is entropy. Entropy isn't laziness, it isn't failure, it's that numb gray fog that dulls your soul and says, "What's the point?" It's the fear that if you do create, you'll be judged. And if you don't create, you'll disappear. In this shadow, there are two expressions. One is depression, where you stop and you vanish into silence. The other is freneticism. You just force your way forward, creating chaos just to feel something. Let me tell you a quick story. It's of a sculptor who became famous not for what he created, but for how long he didn't. At this point, please close your eyes and visualize the story I am about to share. The Sculptor and the Stone. In a quiet village, a sculptor was famed for his breathtaking art, but one day he fell silent. For months, he touched no chisel. Villagers were whispering, "Has he lost his gift?" But the sculptor would sit daily before a block of stone, unmoved. One night, a child asked, "Why don't you carve?" And he replied, "Because beauty hasn't arrived yet. I must wait." Seasons passed. One misty morning, he stood, touched the stone, and carved for 3 days. When it was done, the villagers wept. Never had they seen such divine form carved out of stone. "What changed?" they asked. "Nothing," he smiled. "I finally became still enough to hear what the stone had to say." The moral of the story is that true creativity requires surrender. What looks like stillness or stagnation may actually be a sacred preparation. Only by honoring the silence can something wholly original emerge. You may feel frozen in disinterest or frantically chasing ideas to escape the void within you. The numbness may frighten you, making you feel lost or like a failure. This is where most people flee. But it's precisely here that your soul begins to speak. Understanding the dilemma of numbness. Numbness isn't a block, it's a signal. It asks you to pause and go inward, to compost the old and make sacred space for the new. The dilemma isn't the stillness, it's our inability to sit with it. The new choice is to stop running, to stop forcing, and to breathe into the unknown. Here is a self-empowerment statement to help you move forward. In this sacred pause, I hear the whisper of creation. I do not need to be full of light to be worthy. I only need to trust the rhythm of my becoming. There is a grace associated with this, and through deep acceptance of emotional winters, beauty emerges not in the form, but in the formless presence behind the form. This is the art of becoming, to live in such a way that your very presence becomes a creative blessing. Ask the following questions that you can enter into your journal and write the responses that come up. Number one is, if my numbness could speak, what would it say? Pause if necessary. Number two, what dream or desire am I avoiding? Again, pause if necessary. And lastly, what does beauty mean to me, not as appearance, but as a feeling? Pause if necessary. And so remember that story about the sculptor, about that stillness the sculptor entered. That was the shadow in its transformational process. From entropy comes the gift of freshness, spontaneous, original beauty that can't be faked. And when you surrender deeply enough, that spark becomes the heavenly grace of beauty, a state where your very presence becomes art. Do you want to know how to activate this gift in yourself? Start with this. Stillness isn't the opposite of creativity, it's where it begins. Try this meditation. Diffuse sandalwood and lavender oils. Play 432 hertz music. Be still, breathe, do nothing. And then, when the moment feels right, write, draw, or move, or simply listen to what wants to emerge. Or when you're ready to take action, try sweet orange and ginger oils, play 528 hertz tones, and dance like no one's watching. You can even use drum beats. So this is only the beginning. If this first challenge speaks to your soul, you're not alone. There's a whole journey in 64 keys, 64 shadows, and 64 gifts waiting to be unlocked inside of you. For those interested in doing deeper personal alchemy and wish to have a means of accelerating an understanding of shadow work, over the last 3 to 5 years, I have collected a wealth of information from various esoteric systems, namely the I Ching, human design, gene keys, the chakra systems, and astrology, as well as integrating them with the human genetic code. And in this chart, you will find the details of all the different shadows, all the different fears, the specific fears that fuel those specific shadows, all 64, all in relationship to each codon. And in this wheel, you will find 4 legends on each corner because they can't all fit on one corner or one side to make it a nice, evenly balanced square. So here is the statements from each zodiac sign, so you can see. And then we have the legend for each chakra. You'll notice that there are more than 7, and because there are more than 7 because it is including the spleen as a means to detect threats. So there's an intuitional center there. There's also a center of willpower called the thyroid, because when we are born, the thyroid is literally almost, if not as big as our heart. So we have to accommodate that. And on the other side of this, you will also find an understanding of the I Ching, the hexagram system, the different trigrams, the relationship to the three-dimensional plane, the yin and the yang, and how each of the 6 lines are affiliated with different archetypes, thanks to the human design and or gene key system. And lastly, you will also find the human genetic sequence chart for all the amino acids associated with the human genetic code. But furthermore, you will also find in this chart all the different zodiacs, all 12, mixed with the human design gene key chart. Bear with me, my graphics card is not as fast as other people's on their computer, but you will see all the different fears, all the different shadows, and how they relate to each chakra in those colorful little dots. So you can see how it affects each energy center in the body and how each of them have their own repressive and reactive statements because there are 6 expressions in each challenge. Therefore, you will also find those 6 lines in there, all with their own repressive and reactive statements, their associated dilemmas from that specific shadow, which eventually will clear up, the gift from making the right choices regularly and practicing that gift with its own unique self-empowerment statement. So as you learn to vacate the trapped emotions such as sadness, fear, anger, shame, and guilt, and you will reorient towards true self-alignment and honoring the intuition and inner authority that you possess, it will lead you towards the grace specific to that challenge. So if you would like to learn more about this and or you would like to download this file for your own personal means of translating your specific challenges in the human design system or in the gene key system, it is all there for you. All you have to go is to my website and download this PDF file. It's about 50 megabytes in size. I hope you enjoy this and hope you enjoy this brief glimpse into this massive PDF with all the details about all the specific challenges you'll have in your personal self-realization path. In order to find this PDF, a link will be found down below in the description of the YouTube video. When using that elaborate and vast chart of information, you can use the human design apps found in the App Store on Google Play so that you can choose whichever speaks to you most. And as you choose whichever human design app works best for you, you can then use that towards the chart. So you get your information and your numbers. And then after that, you can use the chart as reference. For example, I use the human design app, which helps me see the specific numbers that I need to see in the top right-hand corner. The red are the unconscious. These are the ones that were imprinted when the soul decided to remain anchored in the body about 90 days before you were born, between the second and the third trimester. The black numbers indicate the conscious, more aware challenges that you know you have in your current life, based on your survival challenges and your adversities currently going on in your life. You can also find that same application in the Human Design App Store for iPhone and or iOS before you start using the chart that you have purchased online. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more information on this and you wanted a free consultation in understanding the current challenges in your life and how it relates to human design, feel free to reach out through the links below. You can also visit thegenekeys.com. There, you will also find a different kind of chart. It relates to the same challenges and same numerical sequences as found in the I Ching and Human Design. And there you'll be able to find a free profile link where you can then enter in your personal information in this field and then have a look at your specific gene key profiles and understand your genus sequence, your Venus sequence in opening up your heart, your love sequence, prosperity, and finding inner harmony. Thank you for watching this short introduction into the Wheel of Evolutionary Change and the chart that I've shown you in brief. And hopefully through those apps and through this PDF, you will find a way to decode the challenges you face and understand how to make the best choices for you and everyone you were meant to impact positively in your life. Now back to the shadow work and the evolutionary change in this video. Through my courses, you'll also find these in more elaborate, more expansive, and with more depth. And these courses will provide you with more depth to aromatherapy options, more depth to sound frequency options. You'll also have a 12-week workshop. There's a whole bunch of self-study questions that you can go through as well. It's just a huge deep dive into you so that you can allow that creativity to emerge more naturally out of you, especially if it's depending on a specific aspect of this first gene key challenge. Because in your chart, you might have gene key 1.1 to 1.6, because there are 6 individual expressions of this specific challenge in Scorpio. You can also join me in free workshops that I have on Saturday mornings, where it's all about divination systems, exploring your chart, learning more about the upcoming challenges of human consciousness that we're going to go through with different planetary positions. If workshops aren't your thing and you want to go one-on-one, feel free to reach out. Use the email link down below in the description and we can have a free consultation and we'll get involved into your chart so we can see what are the specific challenges, which ones really ring true for you in terms of relationships or your life's work or how you feel drained, that sort of thing, or even trying to refine your purpose again in any vocational calling you're looking towards, what kind of culture you want to be part of. So we can really strike a chord on true transformational change in your life and get the ball moving in a direction where you truly feel empowered and alive again. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to the comments that you have below, as well as any feedback that you want to provide. Until next time, guys, God bless, namaste, and may your true self emerge from you.